Let me give you the timeline. The Spadex like almost went in my mouth. Oh dear. Hello everybody, welcome to Anna with Plants. My name is Anastasia. Thank you for joining me for today's video. Before I get into what we're doing, let me just put in the first nutrient in my nutrient solution. So this one has a wait time on it. I'm just gonna put 1 ml per gallon of monocylic acid. So now that's in there, let's talk about what we're gonna be doing in today's video. So I am doing a lot of filming today. So if you happen to see this fit, it's because I filmed my 2 days of Hoya today too. So I'm cheating a little bit. You're gonna spend the weekend with me doing planty stuff, all that goes into upkeeping a large plant collection. And the first thing that I do on a Saturday is watering my collection. So this is what we're gonna be doing together. I have a 4-gallon jug of water in front of me. I'm still using the same nutrient solution. If you happen to see me doing this the last time a few months ago, I'm not gonna really go into detail in this video on what I'm adding or why I'm adding it. If you want more information, you can go ahead and check out that video. I'll go ahead and add it here somewhere. I will probably do like the concentrations that I'm adding as I'm adding them. The first thing I added was this right here. And if you're curious, a lot of my nutrient stuff is in my Amazon shop, which is down below. And the only thing I think that isn't added to there because you can't buy it on Amazon is this. It's the first ingredient in my watering, and this I bought on the Dune website, and this is my first ingredient. Usually I like to wait like say 20 minutes give or take while we're waiting. Just kind of briefly go over what I have planned this weekend. It might not all come to pass. My goals, not really the reality that is probably gonna happen. So this weekend is a little bit of a busy weekend since I'm gonna be going away next weekend for 5 days. I'm actually gonna be going to San Diego, so if you happen to be in SoCal, I will be in your neighborhood. That's just where I grew up and where my mom lives, so I will be paying her and her husband a visit, which will be very, very nice, and I am excited for that. So I'm gonna try to stay up on plant chores as much as I can with the time that I still have. Aside from watering my collection, I actually want to take you through some recent updates. In my last upload, I did some repots, and I wanna show you, this will be how many days since I filmed that video? I think it's about 10 days since I did those repots, and I want to show you a 10-day update, especially because, sorry, that's my fridge, especially because since I'm trying out a new medium, I find it very helpful to see very quick updates to plants as they transition into a new medium. So I'm going to show you how the plants are doing 10 days later. That is on the list. I also want to show you, because I got some questions about using that mix in ambient. So I want to show you guys some plants that are in ambient in the new mix. That's going to be the bulk of it today. I might do a repot if I'm feeling in the mood to do so. And then tomorrow is really exciting. So on Sunday, I am getting my grow tent. I am going to take you guys along with me and film me making my grow tent. Don't worry, I'm not going to take you through like all of the boring parts. I will get down to it. So exciting. And also, I think it's really funny because tomorrow is the Super Bowl, and while people are going to be watching the Super Bowl, I'll be setting up my grow tent because that's where my priorities lie, you know? That's gonna be, I think, what I want to get done this weekend. Again, those are the expectations. We'll see where the reality lands. What else should we talk about while we're waiting? Oh, I can show you a plant while we're waiting. I mentioned in my last video that I got a new Queen of Hearts, and let me show you the Queen of Hearts. Da, 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 da. Isn't she stunning? I was flabbergasted when I opened this package. There are I believe three plants in this one pot. Tazula was not joking around with this one. Let me give you the timeline. Ugh. The spadix like almost went in my mouth. That was very inappropriate and non-consensual. I bought this plant off of Tazula probably early January, and I got it at the end of January. So they held it for a few weeks because it's been really cold here in America. I finally got it about a week ago, I want to say, and it's acclimating. As you can see by this leaf, that all of the nutrients are starting to leach out of this leaf, go back to the original plant. If you see this, that's what's happening. It's just kind of like part of the shock process, I think, and I don't blame it. It came from Florida, and I bet it's very sad to be here in cold and low humidity California. Since it's a really big plant, I have no doubt that it will rebound. Let me give you a better look on all of the leaves since there's a lot going on here. As I mentioned, there are 3 plants in this pot. Hopefully there is one in the front, so that might be a little bit more difficult to show. There are 2 new leaves growing and 1 inflow that's out and another inflow on the way. So this leaf was emerging when I first got it, and it's continuing to expand, and then this leaf has since come out and it has not unfurled yet. It's right here in the middle. This is one of the inflows that popped in this last week, and then this is an inflow that has been out. It was out when I first got it, and it has since, I think it's in the female stage. It's just starting the female stage. The spathe is this really pretty medium pink color. It's so darling. And then the spadix is more of like a deeper, a gray pink sort of color. Hopefully you can see that here. Okay, so by far the biggest leaf on this plant is this one that's staring right at you. And this is what I love about the Queen of Hearts. Their leaves get really, really dark no matter what nutrients you give them. That's kind of what they're known for. They're really dark leaves. And there's also other older leaves. So there's this one, there's less mature leaves. So all of these down at the bottom, the ones that are shocking are the older leaves. So that's why I'm not that worried about it. And then there's this one in the back that's also quite pretty. So there's like a lot going on in this plant. I have no doubt there's a lot of roots in this pot. I am not going to repot it quite yet because that is the downfall of my last Queen of Hearts that I had. I repotted it. It just didn't like the tree fern pond mix, and it lost a lot of leaves, and eventually the roots rotted, and then it was down to a stump, and then the stump rotted. So I completely lost that plant. So this is kind of like round 2. Basically, my reasoning behind buying this plant, because again, we're in our era of intentional plant buying. I bought this because I really am toying around with potentially breeding anthurium, and I want to collect pollen from this. So I wanted to buy a more mature plant, a plant that has a flower on it. I checked that off my list of criteria right there. Another thing is I am really inexperienced with breeding anthurium. I've never done it before. If you are experienced with it, then you will know that the Queen of Hearts is very difficult to breed with. People have done it before. There are hybrids out there of Queen of Hearts. They're just more uncommon, either because they're not really popular to breed with, or they're just really difficult to. Probably a combination of the two is my guess. You want to ask me what my toxic trait is me trying out things for the first time and making it as hard as possible on myself. That is my toxic trait. That's essentially what I'm diving into. I'm going to try to breed with the Queen of Hearts this year as a pollen parent. I'm not going to make this a mom. I'm just not going to go down that road. I don't want to lose this plant again. It's going to be very low stakes. And if it doesn't work out, then I still have this very beautiful plant. It is a win-win for all. Just wanted to show you this plant. It's very gorgeous and I'm so happy to have it. I actually know exactly where I'm going to put it, but just right now I'm going to have it acclimate before I put it in its permanent home. And there's a bunch of dirt. Awesome. I think I've been filming for about 20 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the nutrients into this water. Let's do CalMag next. I just want to talk about nutrient burn for a second here, because I think nutrient burn is a little bit, not to say like it shouldn't be a concern. I'm sure people out there have experienced it and it's not been very fun. I just think it's a little bit overrated of a concern, because I think the fear of nutrient burn that has been instilled in us has been to the extent that people are chronically underfeeding their plants. Yeah, okay, your plant isn't going to get burned, but your plant is probably not getting the nutrients that it needs and that it wants. And so I am gonna put the unpopular opinion out there. The effects of nutrient burn isn't gonna kill your plant, or at least I've never heard of a plant perishing because it got too many nutrients. The leaves might start to yellow. I mean, the plant will recover. It'll adjust to the strength of your nutrient solution. So I wouldn't really be that scared of it. I tend to feed a little bit on the heavy side, and I feed with every time I water. I don't take a week off. I know people do. I haven't seen any bad consequences of doing that. Because I haven't, I'm just going to continue to do that. That side is a little bit too full, so I'm going to move over to this side. I'll tell you guys how strong my solution is, because I don't think I've put that out there yet. Last time I checked, I want to say it was around 900, but again, I don't think my tool, my TDS meter, is super accurate, because I'll take a reading sometimes and it ends up lower than that. So this is my very last step, and it's Super Thrive, which has kelp in it. That's why it smells horrific. Usually I put 1 ml per gallon. I accidentally poured 5, so I'm just gonna put 5 mils this feeding. I try to be specific, hence I do have these to measure out how much I'm putting in, but if I go under or over by like a couple mils, I really don't care. So it's about like 1,000 parts per million, so that's generally like the top end of how much you want to feed. Now that we mix the solution, let's go ahead and just water my plants. And then as I do that, I'll go ahead and show you all of the plants and how the roots are doing in the new mix. So let's get started. Hey guys, so it's a lot later. You know that part of the video that I said that this is expectations and not reality? Much later. We are now here. It is about 4:40 in the evening. I got some watering done downstairs. I haven't done upstairs yet. I got really sidetracked trying to film the Hoya video today. We are still gonna try to accomplish some things today, and I think this is more of like a realistic day of plant care with me, because sometimes you really think that you're gonna get a lot done, and then it's the end of the day and the sun's going down and you haven't really done much. I do have 2 plants down here that I transitioned into the mix that I wanted to show you. The majority of them are upstairs, so I just want to show you the 2, and they are an ambient. It's been a couple weeks now, maybe 2 weeks, and I just watered them too, so that's why they're a little bit wet. This is my red vein dark phoenix that I accidentally poked a hole in moving it around, but it has grown new roots since then. It hasn't quite popped yet. I hope that the caterpillar would pop, but it hasn't. However, the roots have continued to grow, so there's 2 really good ones down here. There has been new growth on its older roots, so you can see hopefully a healthy root tip. There's also a couple over here that are starting to grow again that have been older. This is in ambient. The top does dry out, however, it still encourages root growth down at the bottom, partially because it is in an enclosed pot as well, but also partially just because of the coarseness of the mix. You still get those really nice pockets of condensation. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say right now. And I think that really encourages healthy root growth. So, oh, you're not enjoying my plant talk? You want to leave? Okay, well, this is the other plant that I want to show you. This is my Tazula Dark Form Ace of Spades. This kind of answered the question for me. Anytime I put a rehab anthurium in moss, that seemed to activate a new leaf to grow within like the week or so after, and I wanted to see if not 100% moss, but moss in a mix will also create that same effect, and I have my answer. Yes, it does. Moss in the mix will also cause a leaf to pop, and we finally have a new leaf right here. It looks like it's going to be a big one. In terms of root growth, it's not as apparent in this. There are some new roots, but a lot of the roots you can't see on the side of the substrate. That's just kind of how I potted it, unfortunately. Hopefully the parts that you can see, there are some new roots forming down here. Hey, I'll take a new leaf any day. It's been so long since this plant has pushed a new leaf. Once I get my grow tent, this is the first plant that's going to be put in there because I want a nice leaf to form on this plant since I've been struggling with it, as you can see over all these old leaves. Those are a couple updates downstairs. Let's water upstairs and I'll show you more. Just watering the top row. Let me show you my FTG crystallinum, which I believe I repotted in that video. I might have to go back and double check, but this was a recent transplant in the specifically to Zula mix. You can see all the condensation. It's kind of hard to show you any root growth because of it. The roots I can see are still green, which is nice, but that whole leaf popping thing that happens in moss, that happened to the FTG crystallinum. Oh God, don't worry, because look at this new leaf. It's like still pointing down, so it's kind of gonna be really hard to show you. Hopefully you can see the new leaf emerged from the caterpillar and it is trying to expand right now. The other ambient humidity update that I want to show you in the new mix is my Clary Potato Radiatum. It's actually time to upsize this plant. It's quite ridiculous. This was one of the first plants I transitioned into the new mix. Look at the roots. It's actually quite insane how quickly they've taken over the pot, but they're growing all over. Like there's some in the middle, on the bottom, there's roots that grew on the top. That is like all new root growth. Within a few more weeks, I think it's time to repot this plant for sure. The new leaf that grew, there we go. It's emerging out of the caterpillar. Excited to see what the new leaf will look like, if it'll continue on this shape. I really hope so, because that's why I bought it. I don't think I have any of the new transplants on the third shelf level. One that I really want to get into it though is my very sad looking King of Spades. I don't know what's happening to it, you guys. It's in that tree fern pond mix and the roots look really good. They don't look like they're rotting, but the leaves are just not happy and not having it. And it looks like the caterpillar almost like dried out in a weird way, which it's not a big thing. A new leaf can still emerge from there. I've had that happen before. And I think I really want to try moss on it and see if it can get it to turn around, because it was doing okay for a while there. Again, it tried to push a leaf and it aborted it. Sad update. Before I show you the prop box updates, I want to show you, this is my Forgetii Carla, or is it a Carla Forgetii? It's a Carla Forgetii. The main growth point died and it kind of crazily activated a ton of growth points from the auxiliary buds on the stem. Do you see how many there are? That can't surely be good, right, for the plant. Should I just cut some of those off? This is its main growth point here. This is the leaf and it's actually started to flower, which is very funny since it's so small. I just don't want it to be growing all these new leaves. I feel like that's going to take energy away from the main growth point. So anthurium people that know more than me, what do you do when this happens to your plant? Let me show you this one because I want to show you one in here specifically. It's a no ID crossed with a dress. I rehabbed it in moss and look at how many roots are growing out the bottom. So these are the leaves before moss. Again, it never got a normal leaf out of it. And this is the leaf that emerged in moss. It's so magnificent. Yes, it is chlorotic, but that's an easy thing to fix. That is one that did really well in moss. And I'm gonna show you one more while we're here. Why not? This is a Carla Bevep back cross. So it's a Carla Bevep crossed with another Carla. And when growers do this, they want more of the features to be brought out of the plant that they're back crossing, if that makes any sense. This one's really algae ridden, so you can't see the roots that well. There is one peeking out from the bottom. The main leaf kind of melted off, but it did pop a new leaf, and look at this cute little baby. And the veins are pink. I think it's so adorable. It's so, so cute. And let's go on to this prop box. Oh yeah, same thing happened to my Woo 1 Carla. It sprouted so many growth points. I think it has 4 growth points, and I have no idea what to do with them. This is a Carla dress that I got from Hoya Hole that just about croaked. It rotted pretty much almost all of its roots. I rehabbed it in moss, then I transitioned it into the moss mix. And this is one where the roots went absolutely bonkers, and I think it is time for another repot. And look at this new emergent. Do you see how glorious this leaf is? It's coming off darker on camera, but I promise you it's like a bright red in person. Look at the roots. So new root here, new root here. There's some growing over here, one here. There's roots growing down at the bottom. It's like literally taking over the pot and giving me this beautiful new leaf. So that transition went so smoothly. And this is another one that again has always given me pretty ugly leaves. This was the moss leaf. And then I moved it into the mix and it's continued to root out and it's giving me this new leaf here. So it's continued to grow and I think this leaf will be a lot bigger than this one here. Let's continue watering and then I'll show you more of the plants that I repotted 10 days ago. We are on the ground next to my tower of prop boxes. It's not really ideal, but it's just how it is right now. Please ignore the closet of pots behind me. Again, this is a realistic plant chore day, and I know you guys have closets of pots that look like that, okay? If not like a pile of pots, please, right? Don't tell me I'm alone here. Let me just take off the Hoya. You will have remembered the long boy that I featured. This is the No ID RLFS, and it's been doing really, really well since the repot. Look at this long root that has grown since then. A new root happening here. Again, a lot of condensation, but that's what the roots love. And since then, it's popped another leaf. So this was not a thing when I was repotting it. The leaf has popped. So that's one of them. This is another one, the FTG Dorito port, the flat boy sinus. It's continued to grow roots. Again, this one's even harder to see. Same thing with that one. I think the leaf was just coming out and that's what it looks like. Here's a few others though. So this is the Carla Port from NSC that I got on their Palm Street Live a while ago, and the roots rotted on it and it's regrown roots since then. These are all the roots that are new, and this is the new leaf that it put out. It's really cute. I think it's adorable. Unfortunately, I did tear it on another plant, so that's kind of sad. So this one is a candidate to get repotted soon. This is a really interesting one. This is a dark Ace of Spades dress crossed with a Delta Dawn self. I need to get it out of the moss because I think I kept this moss a little bit too wet for my liking, but this is the new leaf it gave me. Do you see this weirdo leaf right now? It's so oblong and strange. The other leaves were more normal than this, so I don't know if this is gonna continue. I kind of wanted to because it looks so funny. So that's that for that prop box. Kind of want to show you guys my red spider, although it's gonna be a little bit of a pain because of the Hoya that are on top of it. I might just show it to you through the prop box. Let me take this off the tripod. Can you see the red spider through here? When you saw it last, it was just a wee baby leaf. Do you see how cool the veination looks? Unfortunately, the sinus isn't fused yet, but oh my god, it looks so cool. I will have to show it at a later date. We're at the last prop box. This is the largest one I have on the floor here, and there's so many plants that are so ready to go into a grow tent here. I cannot wait to get my hands on it tomorrow. Ooh, yeah, this is a good one. I want to show you that dress, which I believe was that first repot that I did. Look at how dark its offset is. There is new root growth that is happening. I can see the root tips, which is great, but it did the thing that it does when I rehab in just moss. It popped a new leaf. And I really did not think that it was going to happen because the cataphyll looked really dried up, and the leaf might be damaged because of that. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, it's right there in the middle. Hopefully y'all can see that. What was the other plant in here? Oh god, I might have to stop filming soon. Let me show you just one more and then we'll take a break and wait for the children to stop screaming. This is one of the repots I did, and look at this big juicy root. Now you can see that one for sure. That one's huge. This one's another huge one that grew since then, and then there's some new ones over here too. No movement in the leaf department yet, but just like big old juicy root. And we'll take a break for the children. So if you hear the audio change, that is because I don't have my microphone on. Okay, this is a Carla Blackier, and I am about to show you which one it is. It is the District RA8. And I'm looking for some roots. I think I showed you some new ones, and then I am very unsuccessfully going to show you where a new leaf has sprouted. That is that one, and next we are moving on to one that is not doing very well. This is a Indo Hoffmanii X crossed with a red spider, and you can see the yellowing leaves. I think it's due for a repot just to check out the root situation. The next plant I'm showing you is the Woohoo Carla cross with the Tazula Dark Farm Ace of Spades. This is the new emergent leaf, and I have a lot of clips of me just showing off that bluey green sheen, which I think the Ace of Spades is more so known for. Here I'm showing you the inverse cross. This is the Tazula Ace of Spades crossed with the Woohoo Carla. And I'm about to show you them side by side. So that's what they look like side by side. It'll be interesting to see them grow up and see how different they look. Now we're moving on to the next plant, which is the BVEP. Later on, I show you what exact cross this is, but can we just look at how majestic it is? Again, I'm showing you the pillowiness and the red orangey emergent leaf and the sheen, the BVEP sheen. I'm showing you the roots right now, which look very good. Their roots are popping off in this plant. And I think coming up here, yes, okay. So here I'm showing you what the cross is, which is an RF crossed with a dark star from Granthariums. This is what the exact BVEP I'm showing you is. And then I'm showing you the older leaf and how it darkens down to like a deep green color. Now I'm closing the prop box, and this is quite funny because here I realize that the microphone is not only off, I'm not even wearing a microphone. Yep, I'm really good at this. You guys, I just realized that I didn't have my mic on. I took my mic off to go walk Luca, and I totally forgot to put it back on. And I just hit record and filmed like an idiot without an external mic. What I was trying to say is at least we got two things done today. We watered, and I showed you some recent updates on my journey with my new substrate. Hi, Luca. Did you have a good walk? Oh, hi, Bubba. Thank you for the kisses. Yeah. Luca says hello, obviously. Oh, okay. So the plan for tomorrow, Sunday, is set up grow tent and maybe do some repotting. If I'm in the mood, I might do the repotting in the morning. We'll just kind of see how it goes. Yeah. Luca, Don't move my camera, Bubbas. Don't move my camera, okay? Hope you enjoyed our Saturday together. No, don't go after my microphone. I will see you on Sunday. Bye, guys. Say goodbye, Luca. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to them up there. No, not here. Up there. Say goodbye. Okay, bye. Hey, everyone. So it's Sunday and my grow tent was delivered. There is going to be a little bit of a change of plans, though. Not everything in my order was delivered. I'm going to go over the things that I did get today, and then I am just going to build it, and then we'll probably complete it on Wednesday. So I'm thinking instead of just like a 2-day thing, this is going to be a 3-day thing. So hopefully you're okay with that. Excuse the hat. My hair is in a state no one needs to see that. So that's why that is the way that it is. Let me go over what I got. First up is the grow tent. This is what I ended up going with. I'll go ahead and put the exact name of it. I ended up going with a 4x4 at the last minute. I think we can squeeze an extra foot in here. It is actually going right behind me, so I don't know. I measured, we'll see what it looks like. I'll also go ahead and put pricing of everything in case it helps anyone out who is interested in buying a grow tent down the line from this company. The next thing I got is, this is what they call their controller. You can basically connect everything to this device. It is Bluetooth controlled and there's an app for it, so it's all on your phone and easy to manage. So that's why I decided to go with this brand, because they are a tech company. So I'm assuming their app isn't going to be horrible. Fingers crossed. I got a couple of other things also from the company. I got one of their plugins that you pretty much plug into the controller. I didn't want to get their specific grow lights just because I like to use what I know, and T5 Barinas have just been my go-to. So the grow lights are going to plug into this plug, which is then going to plug into the controller, and they can still be controlled through the app. And that is one thing that isn't here yet. That will be arriving in 2 days, is going to be my Barina grow lights and the shelf. I actually don't have the shelf with me either, so unfortunately I can build the grow tent today, but I won't be able to put any plants inside of it. Randomly, the shelf liners though did arrive, so I got some shelf liners. The very last thing that I got is their fan. Of course, you want a fan in your grow tent. The specific one I got is the Cloud Ray S6. And side note, I kind of love their packaging. I have no idea why. I don't know. It's very pleasing to the eye and pleasing to look at. Thought about doing a time lapse, but the Super Bowl is going on and I got some food going and I need to pop down to the kitchen here and there. So I think it'll be just a little bit too chaotic with a time lapse. So instead I will use the editing magic of YouTube, and I've low-key always wanted to do this. So let's build the grow tent. And we're all done. That build was so easy. It took about half an hour. So if you are better at building than I am, then it might even take you a shorter amount of time. There was only one part that I needed Cody's help on. So for the most part, you can do it all by yourself. And let me just tell you, the quality of this tent, I was floored at. And whoever designed the directions and how to put this tent together really thought it through. Whoever that person is needs to be hired at IKEA, because I would not be surprised to hear if divorces happen over building IKEA furniture. This thing was so easy to build, and just a lot of thought went into this. I could tell. So far I am loving this tent. Let me show you the inside. Okay, you guys, so this is the door. This is the door of the tent. It is 80 inches tall. This is kind of the side view of it. It has an extra door that you can kind of pull through if you want to. This is where that controller goes, and I believe on the inside is where all of the cord management is going to happen. that is where I decided to put the fan, and the fan is really good quality too. I quite enjoy that. And yeah, right now we're standing inside the tent. There are some beams up top to support the roof, and one thing I really love is this is an anti-spill floor mat. So this mat actually is detachable and you can clean it off real easy. So far, all good. I just wanted to show you the grow tent so far, and I am gonna go enjoy the Super Bowl. I will see you in a couple of days. All right, bye. Luca, you silly man. You silly man. Okay, what is happening? Oh dear. Welcome back. It is now Wednesday and Luca has joined us here. So I have the grow tent all set up. Mostly, I'd say like 80% set up. I don't have any plants in it yet. The day has kind of got away from me and I am gonna put plants in there tonight. It's just I have I have a lot of things to do, so you guys will just have to tune in later and see how the grow tent looks with plants in it. I might play around with putting in a couple more grow lights. I know I need some for the bottom shelf for sure. Let me go ahead and turn you around and then we'll just kind of take a look in there together. So I decided to turn the entrance of it before it was over here, but now it's going to be over here just because there's a little bit more space in here to get into. So this is the shelf I got. It's a 4-tier shelf and I made sure to give the plants a lot of space in between because my goal here is to put mainly anthurium. However, I did reserve the bottom shelf for some hoya, but again, I need to put some grow lights in here. So I think I'll hold off on putting the hoya down here for now. But I did try to do some cord management up here. I will leave the cords down here alone. I have my fan all set up to go. It's currently off. I also have some T5 Barinas, and one thing that I didn't know, did you guys know these are magnetic? I don't know if it's just the new ones or what, but they're actually magnetic, so I didn't really have to tie them up. This is gonna be hard to show, but right across here is a T8 grow light. It's providing the most light up here, and then as you go down, it gets to be a little bit less light. Let me give you the measures of foot candles. Okay, let's measure the light, Luca. So here is gonna be the strongest and it's around 200, and I purposely wanted to make it on the lower side. When you go down one level, that's the reading around like 180-ish. If you go down one more, it's gonna be the lowest at just above 100. The Hoyas down here are gonna have their extra light. We'll see how it goes with this. I know the majority of anthurium are low light house plants, so I think it'll be okay, but if they need more light, then I will for sure install some stronger grow lights or more grow lights. We'll just kind of see how it goes. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. For all of those people that have grow tents, let me know if I'm doing anything wrong or if you guys have some tips and tricks that you think would be helpful to me. I am open to learning because this is all very new to me. I hope you guys have a lovely day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.